Oh, hi everyone. I'm Mrs. G.
There's lots to do and see.
Come and play along with me. Come on.
I'm Mrs. G. There's lots to do and see. Come and play along with me. Story time with Mrs. G.
Hi everyone. You may be wondering why I'm in the bath. How funny is this? Well, the reason I am is because I'm going to tell you a story all about TJ and April. Now, TJ and April were actually going to be going back to school or nursery, just like you. But they were a little bit worried, so Mummy thought it would be a very good idea to have an early bath. So TJ loved his bath, he loved staying in the water, and he even put on his swimming goggles. And he pretended that he was a deep sea diver with all his fish. Mummy, Mummy, called TJ, when am I going back to swimming lessons? Oh, TJ, I'm really sorry, said Mummy, but of course you won't be going back to swimming lessons for a very long time. But you will be going back to school. Thought TJ, not sure about that. April was also having a bath, and she was very excited because she was playing with seahorse and mermaid, and she had lots of imagination. She loved mermaids and she loved seahorses, and she was splashing about. She didn't really mind, but she was also thinking about going back to nursery or to school. What did it mean? So TJ started to think about going back to school, and it actually made him have a little bit of a tummy ache. He was a little bit worried and his tummy was feeling a little bit wobbly. And as he was swimming about in the bath, he started thinking about all the things that had been going on during lockdown and about the adventures that he'd had with Big Alfred and how that had really helped him. And even though it had been a nice time at home with his mummy and his daddy and with April sometimes, he still felt that going back to school was now a bit worrying. He was looking forward to seeing his friends and he was looking forward to seeing his teacher. By the time it was bedtime, TJ was beginning to think, did he really want to go back to school or did he really want to stay at home? He didn't know. He went up the stairs, and then up the second flight of stairs, into his bedroom and up the steps of his bed. He pulled the covers over himself. And by now he was in a very confused state. He was remembering about being a deep sea diver in the bath and enjoying those thoughts. And then he was remembering going back to school and what would it mean? Suddenly he heard, it was Big Alfred. He sat up boldly in his bed and he looked down the side of his bed. He was so happy to see Big Alfred this time. Big Alfred, said TJ. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I thought you would be, said Big Alfred. I told you I would come and help you whenever you're happy or you're sad. And I know you're a little bit worried about tomorrow, going back to school or nursery. Yes, I am, Big Alfred, actually. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if I feel happy or I feel sad. Well, come with me. We'll go on an adventure and you will see, said Big Alfred. Close your eyes and count to 10. TJ shut his eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when he opened his eyes, there they were, walking up the steps of the flying saucer. The doors opened, shh. Big Alfred and TJ walked inside, and the door shut, shh. TJ looked at Big Alfred, and Alfred looked at TJ. Had Big Alfred grown, or had Big TJ shrunk? I don't know. TJ watched Big Alfred go over to the control panel, and he started pressing the buttons. And then the flying saucer flew up, up into outer space. It went past the birds, past the sun, past the stars, past the moon, and past all the planets. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And there in front of them was a great big fish tank. Where are we going? Said TJ. I will show you, said Big Alfred, but you will need these first. And he handed TJ a pair of swimming goggles, a little bit like the pair that TJ had anyway. Yippee, said TJ. I think I'm going to go swimming. Yes, you are, said Big Alfred. So close your eyes and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when he opened his eyes, the doors of the flying saucer opened and they went running down the steps. And there it looked like a great big diving board. Big Alfred and TJ ran along the diving board and they dived into this fish tank. Further down into the water they went. There were fishes swimming all around them. There were sharks, there were stingrays, there were seahorses, there were dolphins, there were lots of little Nemo fish all swimming around them. It was great fun. And TJ looked at Big Alfred and he said, "I'm loving this." And Big Alfred said, "I wonder if you know what lots of fish together is called." Thought TJ. "I think I was once told it is a school of fish." "Yes, you're right, TJ," said Big Alfred, "and that is why I've brought you to this very underwater adventure." Suddenly they heard lots of laughing. It sounded like girls giggling, and TJ thought, "I really hope that's not my sister in this adventure. She's been in so many recently." And they looked over, and there, further down into the bottom of the ocean, or fish tank, there was lots of mermaids sitting round each other. They were giggling and they were laughing. TJ swam up and he looked at what they were doing, and they were actually playing with lots and lots of pearls. TJ looked at Big Alfred. "Where did they get all those pearls?" "Well," said Big Alfred, "I'm not sure if you know, but down in the ocean, or the bottom of the fish tank, there are lots and lots of shells, and inside the shells there are some pearls. And these mermaids are very clever at collecting them, and they call them their treasure. So what they do is they actually make beautiful jewellery out of all the pearls. They had some lovely bracelets, they had some lovely necklaces, and they had some lovely earrings. All of a sudden, who do you think came riding by on a seahorse but April? There she was, of course she was in the adventure. "Hi TJ," said April. TJ looked at his sister. "April, why are you here?" "Well," she said, "I was really sad and really worried about going to school or nursery tomorrow, that I thought I really wanted to come on an adventure. And suddenly I find myself underwater with my lovely seahorse, and I've come to meet my friends, the mermaids." TJ was absolutely confused. How did she know these mermaids already, and what was she doing on a seahorse? Anyway, she came to join the mermaids, and the mermaids looked at her and said, "Hi April, we've got something for you." And one of the lovely, beautiful mermaids handed her this bracelet. April put it on. She thought it was beautiful. Suddenly, the water started to move and swirl, and everything was tossing and turning. "What's happening, Big Alfred?" said TJ. "I'm not sure," said Big Alfred, "but I think you maybe need to look at your hand and blow." TJ looked at his hand and he remembered about the fairy. She had told him that if he ever needed any help at all, ever, he was to blow the fairy dust from his hand. TJ looked at his hand. He couldn't see anything in it, but as he blew, this fairy dust flew all over the ocean. It covered all the fish and it covered all the mermaids, and it was glistening. Everything seemed to stop still. The mermaids stopped moving, the fish stopped moving, and even the waves stopped moving. Big Alfred said to TJ, "I think we need to get out of here pretty quickly. Can you swim as quick as you can?" "Oh, I sure can," said TJ. He was a good swimmer. So they swam to the top of the fish tank, and there on the top there was the flying saucer. "Quickly, close your eyes and count backwards from 5, said Big Alfred. TJ shut his eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there they were, walking in the steps of the flying saucer. The doors opened. They walked in. The doors shut behind them. Big Alfred started pressing the control banner. TJ looked out of the window. He could see this fish tank. He could see all the fish. It all stopped moving. He could see the beautiful fairy dust glistening everywhere. What did this mean? All of a sudden, out of the corner of his eye, he saw a ship. It was a pirate ship, and it was actually floating on the top of this fish tank ocean. What's that, he thought? A pirate ship? Maybe that's what made all the waves. He took a bit of a better look, and as he saw the captain of this pirate ship, he realised that he had a green face. Thought TJ, this must be my next adventure. they went, flying higher, higher, higher into the sky, past all the planets, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus and Mercury, past the moon, past the beautiful stars, past the sun, past the birds. And now, said Big Alfred, this adventure is going to end, but I will come and find you very quickly. Now you take care when you go to school or nursery, and don't you worry, because I will be here. I will be here whenever you're happy or you're sad, and I will make you feel glad. Close your eyes and count backwards from 10. So TJ shut his eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sure enough, when he woke up, there he was in his bed. He rolled over and undid the blind. It was morning time, and it was time for school or nursery. But TJ felt a little bit happier because he knew that whatever happened, he would always have his adventures with Big Alfred. And so will you. And April found that she was still wearing the beautiful pearl bracelet that she was given from the mermaids. Was it a dream or was it real?
Craft with Mrs. G.
So today we are going to do a little bit of cooking and a little bit of craft all together. And that is why I've got my craft tablecloth here and my craft apron on. So first of all, we're going to make special salt dough, and that is why it's called cooking. And we're going to make a salt dough C mobile. Dough, you will need flour, salt, some water, some food colouring, and to measure it all out you just need a little cup. I'm going to measure out all the ingredients in the cup. So we have 1 cup of flour, and it's going to go in my big bowl for now, and half a cup of salt, and half a cup of water. Now I'm going to mix the ingredients together. I'm going to separate the mixture into the 4 bowls, and that's because they're going to be different colours. So there's a little dollop there, dollop there, dollop there, and last one, dollop there. Now I'm going to wear some rubber gloves because I'm going to mix the food colouring, and I'm going to get a bit mucky. Yellow in the first bowl, that's bowl number 1. Red in the second bowl, bowl number 2. Green in the third bowl, number 3. And blue in the 4th bowl. I'm just going to squidge all the colour mixture into the salt dough. There's the yellow and the red. Let's make that nice and red. And now green. And now that we've coloured our salt dough, we want to make some shapes so that we can hang them from this lovely mobile that I made earlier. So I've got a shell shape, and I've got some seaweed shape, I've got a fish shape, and a starfish shape. So my friend TJ, what colour shall I make the shell shape?
Yellow.
Okay, so some flour on your rolling pin, so a little bit more flour on your shape, and here we go. I'm going to cut out a shell. It looks a little bit like this. So TJ, what colour shall I use next?
Green.
Okay, and what do you think should be green in our underwater mobile?
Seaweed.
Okay, well I thought this looks a little bit like seaweed. I'm going to adapt it. Roll it out, plenty of flour on there, And let's make a seaweed shape. Now you'll notice I'm putting this salt dough onto a plate, which is actually a microwavable plate, because we're going to cook it in the microwave today. So I've just got two colours left, a red and a blue. TJ, should I have a red or a blue fish?
Blue.
Okie dokie, it's your fish. It's going to be your mobile. That was an easy one. Okay, that's going on the microwavable plate. There we go. And obviously the last shape is my starfish, and that's red. So, now these are ready to go in the microwave. It will take about 10 minutes, but do them at 10 seconds at a time and get a grown-up to do this bit for you. Okay, in the microwave. Zap it on. Up. Now, that's halfway through. So, they've been in probably for about 3 minutes, and they're getting nice and hard. But I need to show you what we're going to do next. Put a little stick here, and I'm going to put a hole in them so we can then thread some thread through for the mobile. So now the salt dough has been baked, we're going to decorate them. But first we're going to make the mobile. So in my craft basket today I have a coat hanger, I have some foil and a little bit of, I thought this looked like nice sea decoration, and some scissors and some PVA glue, very importantly some shoelaces, and lastly some sprinkly glitter. So I'm going to cut the shoelaces in half, and then I'm going to wrap them round the coat hanger, tie them carefully. Again, you might need a grown-up to help you. There's one. And now we're going to cover the whole thing with the foil. So just wrap it round and keep the lengths out like that. And then wrap it round. And the other side. There we go. And now to decorate the top, I'm just going to put some glue on the hanger here and stick this pretty blue paper all the way across. So now I'm going to decorate the shapes. A little bit of PVA glue. So I've threaded the shoelace through the shape, the fish and the seaweed and the starfish and the shell, and now I'm going to decorate them. So I'm going to use some PVA glue all the way over this fish and pour on some blue glitter. Let that dry, and then I suggest doing the other side as well. And now we have the green seaweed. Let's have some gold on there. And there you have it, your underwater fish mobile. Look at that glistening. Thank you for watching today. Now, I know a lot of you are going back to school or nursery, and I will miss you, and I'm sure you'll miss me. So what I've decided to do is, I still would like to tell you my stories all about Big Alfred and TJ and April, his sister. But we decided that now the stories are going to be at the beginning of the week. So after you've had a busy day at school or a busy time at nursery. So you can always tune in to your YouTube channel and watch it then. And then later on in the week, we're going to put out the craft or cooking, and so that you can do that perhaps at the weekend when you're not so busy. We hope you're going to enjoy that, and if you want to tell me, give me some feedback, that would be absolutely fabulous. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Been in today, Mrs. G had lots of games to play. Along came big Alfred. Oh, where was he going to go? He has adventures to a land that's past the moon. However you're feeling, whether you're happy or sad, you can go on an adventure that makes you feel glad. Take care, we'll see you very soon.